My name is Jeff Becker, and I've been involved with Summerfest for about 14 years now. So my story is kind of based on my transition from high school to college. In high school, religion was a very big part of my life. I was involved with my youth group. I went to church every Sunday. Just did all the sort of things like trick or treat for food, all that kind of stuff. And when I went to college, I think college is a very good time to kind of find out who you are. I think it's a time to explore and realize what you want to do in your life and things like that. And one of the things I wanted to make sure that I kept was my faith. Freshman year, I tried to find a local church that I could connect with and get into and things like that, and didn't find luck. I think I jumped, just from church to church, trying to feel somewhere where I felt comfortable. I think church is a community type thing, and that's the one thing I was kind of searching for, was just a community that I felt like I belonged to. And so for the whole freshman year, I just couldn't find one that I just felt comfortable with. Now my sophomore year, I finally found a church that I felt, really connected with. It was a student-based church, and one Sunday actually ran into a guy that I lived with. And it's kind of funny because you're living with this guy, you don't even know you go to the same church. And so him and I started talking. We're like, why can't we talk about things like this on a weekly basis? So every about Wednesday or something like that, him and I would talk about not only Jesus, but things going on in our lives. And so week by week, I think the second week we added one more, third week there was a couple more, and by the end of the semester we had about 20 some guys in our group talking about Jesus, talking about the Bible, talking about things going on in our lives. When me and my buddy kind of took a step back, it was a great feeling realizing, hey, you and I just kind of started this thing, just on a whim, just being like, hey, let's just talk, 20 minutes every Wednesday or something like that. And it grew to a group of 20 some guys talking for about an hour, hour and a half each Wednesday night. It was so neat to watch, and how many guys wanted to talk about God and just didn't have a way to do that. And then when they finally realized that, hey, there's a comfortable space where we can talk, it was great to see that, grown men being like, hey, it's all right and it's cool to talk about him. I think there's a lot of times in our lives where, sometimes we feel like we can't talk about them, or it's not the right time, or it's not the right place. And so, I think if you talk to God every day, you will feel that he's giving you the courage to be like, hey, it's fine to talk about me. I'm cool to talk about. God gives courage.